while you were watching something else, the Cubs and Dodgers arrived in Tokyo. They had workouts preparing for the season opener Tuesday. Live coverage on Fox. Javelin throws, unique training, and a lot of eyes in Tokyo this week. Here's Dave Roberts on what to expect.
It's really exciting because we know that almost every morning, in the middle of the morning, the Dodger games are broadcast here in Japan. But this is our first opportunity to come to the country of Japan, the city of Tokyo, and to actually see Japanese people come support us in their home country.
This is just an amazing life experience. So it's hard to find a reason to be in any way negative about this. We get to do this, and I think that puts you in a place of just gratitude, and we're lucky. You know, a lot of the Japanese greats have had very unique batting stances. And who's to say that my stance didn't come from the Japanese greats?
Very good.
That's good. That's
yeah,
good.
It's going to be so much fun. And I know that there's a lot of attention being paid out there. Of course, Dave Roberts is born in Japan, so I know it's a thrill for him. This is the 10th time that Major League Baseball has had an opening day outside of the continental U.S., right? Japan, Mexico, we've opened in various countries over the years. It's getting bigger all the time. And you have some first-person perspective on this.
Yeah, 2008, I was part of the Tokyo series when I was with the Red Sox. We opened up against the Oakland A's, and Matty, Craig Counsell said it right. You get to do it. It was such an experience that I absolutely loved. Yeah, my video camera out there. There's Uke. I got to find that footage right there. I've never seen that footage before. That was my camera. But look at Big Papi. He's got the moss on his head. Petey was coming into his MVP season. But it was an incredible trip. And one of the greatest, Daisuke Matsusaka had a good buddy that was a big money guy, right? He owned an incredible restaurant in Japan. And in Tokyo, they shut the restaurant down for us, dude. It was like me, Veritek, Alex Cora, Mikey Lowell, Kevin Cash, bunch of guys. This is what they said. They said the guy went to market and got a $50,000 piece of Matsusaka beef. Cut it up, Matty. You could eat it with a fork.
Kobe beef?
It was better.
Harold, shut up. Stay on the plane.
You cut it with a fork. It was like a 10-course meal. It was one of the greatest nights ever. But that was part of my experience of being there. And I'm sure these guys are going to have that experience too of going out and getting to enjoy Tokyo. But the fans were incredible too, Matty. The fans were incredible. They got beating those things every I don't know what those.
Well, they got the organized cheering section.
The Thundersticks. Then I got in for one at bat, a little 4-6-3 piece. That real nice. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I couldn't even move my neck. Next thing you know, I get a curveball right there from Embry. I'm like, I'm going to hammer this pitch, and I rolled over on it. Unbelievable. But it was incredible.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
cool
it was an
experience with
incredible
players.
experience.
Great for fans, too.
Oh,
I mean, what a
man.
way to open up the season. The energy there has got to be off the charts. And, of course, we had Dave Roberts on the show a couple days ago.
Yeah.
He told us that Shohei and Roki Sasaki and Yamamoto are hosting a private dinner for the players at an undisclosed location, and you know it's going to be the same experience that you had,
It's going
right?
to be incredible, yes.
Here's Ohtani on bringing his boys in blue to his homeland.
そうですね。今までもたくさん素晴らしい選手っていう
It's hard to tell if this is the golden age for Japanese players here in the United States because I know there's been a lot of Japanese players that came before me, but having 5 is a big deal.
そうですね。とにかくたくさんの方が
I really feel the excitement of the country with the games being played here. So, and obviously I'm looking forward to pitching in front of the fans as well. So I want to do my very best to make sure that I do that.
昨日も日本
It makes me very happy seeing my teammates, especially at the party yesterday, take a lot of interest in Japanese culture and just enjoying the whole event. So I've very much enjoyed it.
そうですね、アメリカにいる時はあんまり実感してなかったんですけど、
So it didn't really hit me when we were in the U.S. of how it was going to feel until we came here, and everybody's been enjoying it. But also ever since we've been at the field, just watching my teammates' faces, and they look ready. So I think everybody's enjoyed it, but now they're looking forward to the actual games.
One of the questions being asked about Shohei Ohtani, as we just heard a rip sound from the Japanese players, 5 of them, as we heard, that are going to be in the Tokyo series this year, is when is he going to pitch? This from Fabian Ardaya, the Shohei Ohtani pitching story. Ohtani said he wanted a little bit of a breather mentally and physically from his pitching rehab, which is why he has slowed down on that front. Said all was going well with his rehab there, but it seemed necessary to slow down the pitching for now. Interesting note. I don't know that we take any pause out of that. I think it's understandable that maybe he just wants to get back to hitting and prepare for opening day. The pitching stuff's going to come down the road.
Yeah, and the rehab for pitching's a lot too. He's coming back, he's getting healthy, but there's also probably some rehab stuff he's still doing to keep his arm strength and all that stuff. And getting ready as a hitter is a full-time job. So I don't know how he does in the first place, let alone coming back from Tommy John. But They are so loaded in pitching right now that Shohei just stepping back a little bit, I don't think it's that big a deal.
They are loaded. That's a good way
Loaded.
to say it. Let's change teams here and go back to social media. This from Ian Brown. Rocky Devers said today he will do whatever they want me to do, end quote, meaning the Red Sox. And I would imagine that he had a nice conversation with Alex Cora about the role he'll occupy this year. Let's listen to some sound.
We spoke already, and I'm good to do whatever they want me to do. I'm here to help, and they know where I stand, but I'm just ready to play. I'm not going to share what we talked about here, just because, those are private conversations. So I told them everything of my point of view, how I see things, and they know that. For me, it's been kind of sad that I've been put out there as someone who's bad for the organization or not about this organization. But I've matured a lot during this, and I'm ready to move forward.
What's not to like? He's tremendous.
He is tremendous, Harold. We're all fans. Case, I'm just curious where you land on this. I mean, it felt like all along Alex Bregman hasn't played a moment at second base yet, and it just felt like he was going to open the season as their third baseman. Do you think Devers, when he's completely healthy, do you think he gets back to share reps at third base, or is he going to DH all year?
I think if Bregman ends up playing third base, I think Devers is going to end up DHing. I really do. And also, too, if you have Hamilton at second, who's a good player, you got Christian Campbell who's sitting there right there as a prospect. But I think Devers, if he decides that, if Alex Cora decides that's what he's going to do, I think Devers is going to probably DH most of the year.
Yeah, and I don't know what it means.
Think,
well, I feel like the only thing you're sure of is that he's going to DH to start the season, and then invariably somebody's going to get dinged up. Somebody's going to need to give somebody a blow.
Yeah.
I know this, that our researcher today, the great Eric Nays, told me that all three of their stud prospects homered yesterday.
Yeah.
Including Christian Campbell, who hadn't been swinging the bat much to start camp. It's spring training. Nobody's going to worry about that kind of thing. But when you're trying to play your way into the plans and give folks in the front office a chance to evaluate, when you start one for something, it makes it a little easier for them to say maybe we send him to Worcester to start the season.
No doubt about it. When you're a young kid, you have to really make an impression big time early on in spring training. So him not swinging the bats, not helping him, but his home run he hit yesterday to right center, he looks like he's going to be a stud.
Yeah. One last Red Sox fact.
Who cares about the facts?
Oh, come on, Harold. This is a fact. Lucas Giolito will begin the season on the IL, according to Alex Cora. We're going to be tested right away. They're not the only team in the AL East dealing with pitching trouble and injuries. Grayson Rodriguez, we know all about Garrett Cole, Luis Gil. There are a lot of big-name pitchers in that division that are going to start the season on the IL. It's part of the reason why they took the betting futures down for who would win the American League East for about 24 hours, because nobody knew what was going on there with all these pitching injuries.
Yeah, well, man, that's exactly right. And the pitching injuries right now coming out of spring training, man, that's never a good thing.
It's what everybody wants to avoid. Boy, Cam Smith is as impressive to listen to as he is to watch play the game. Here are some of the details on one of the brightest prospects in the sport. 14th overall by the Cubs in June, and MLB.com Pipeline has him ranked as the 58th top prospect in the game. He is Houston's top prospect. He's working in right field this camp, and we can't wait to visit with Cam. Pleasure to have him on with us on the Friday Stove. Cam, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Tell us how right field is going, man. You're a third baseman by trade. How's right field been to you this spring?
It's honestly been fun. I keep talking to my coaches about it. It's like I'm just playing fetch out there. Like the goal is just to pitch the ball. Like I feel like a kid.
Feel like it's easier out there than a third?
Definitely more laid back. It's not as intense as the hot corner, as you know. I have a lot of fun out there.
What's been the hardest part of the move for you?
I would say just knowing like which way the ball is going to tail. Depending on the hitter, you always have to understand the wind. You always have to understand who's up to the plate. A righty, a lefty. Mm-hmm. Just like knowing how their ball is going to fade away or fade towards the foul line.
So what are the Astros telling you, Cam? Because we speculate all the time on this show about who's going to break camp with the big league team, what kind of, how much you're going to play. What are they telling you about your role this year?
Honestly, I haven't heard much about what the future looks like for me. I think they're doing a good job of just keeping me right where my feet are at, to not force me to look forward. I do believe in, staying in the moment and being present. So I think they've done a good job. Honestly, everybody wants to know where I'm going to be at, where I'm going to start. But, I kind of like how they're going about it.
Cam, being so young, man, and coming into big league camp, what was your mentality and your attitude coming into camp from day one?
Honestly, just, it's a cliche thing to say, but just be a sponge, honestly, because, loving this game, you try to find things every single day to grow and become better, whether it's 1%, something big, something, tiny, minute, but always trying to find something, to improve my game. So honestly, I've been listening to everybody and all the coaches, with outfield, third base, mainly defense, honestly. And obviously we've worked on a good routine in the cage. So I've set myself up with a nice routine in the cage before games and stuff like that.
What's some of the advice that you've gotten so far from some of the guys that's helped you?
Honestly, they're telling me not to, push for results you'll take care of your stuff in the cage and your routine, and basically that's the win for the day. If you can tell yourself that you did your warm-up routine, you did your defensive routine, your hitting routine, that's the win for the day, and the game kind of just takes care of itself if you go about it the right way.
Let's go back to the trade, Cam, because I would imagine, you're drafted as a first rounder by a team and you visualize yourself with that team forever, potentially. And then you get news that you're dealt. What was your mindset then, and how long did it take for it to sink in?
Yeah, so honestly, I didn't even know it was possible to get traded that quick. I had just got drafted in July, and I really didn't know the business side of it, but I found out quick, I'd say that. Carter Hawkins gave me a call and then told me that I was traded to the Astros and kind of wished me good luck. And then Dana Brown called me over here, and he said, welcome, let's get you to campus ASAP. And
there were some guys in Houston camp that you had known previously. I think we have a photo of you here that we want to show you and remind you of. John Singleton and young Cam Smith. Look at that.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah, 2016, I saw Singy in Orlando. They were playing the Braves at ESPN Worldwide Sports.
That's unbelievable how small this world is. Who's the other dude?
That's my cousin. That's my cousin. We're big baseball fans, and I just ended up continuing to play.
That's cool.
He still watches me today, but yeah.
That's awesome. You're a Florida guy. Like, who was your favorite team growing up? Who were you a fan of, like players and teams?
Honestly, very young, it was Hanley Ramirez all the time. I loved watching Hanley Ramirez. And then about 2013, rookie year of Yasiel Puig, I became a big fan of his. He kind of faded off a little bit, so then I became a fan of Corey Seager. Just I don't know, I kind of just bounced off guys basically.
That's cool.
But I have so many favorites, honestly. I love watching these guys play, and to get to play with them today and even against them is huge.
Cam, when I saw the Knowles shirt, I just want to go back really quick. In 2023, my son was playing in the Cape Cod League, and I went and saw him for a week, and they were playing Hyannis, and you crushed a ball to left center, and you don't know who these guys are. I remember getting the program out, and I was like, who's this dude? Like, Cam Smith. And I was like, and I followed you since then, man. Talk about the Cape League and what that meant for you, because you turned out to be one of the top prospects there. You had a monster year. What did that do for your confidence?
It's definitely huge. To be honest with you, I didn't really have an approach before going to the Cape in summer. I had an okay freshman year at Florida State. Link Jarrett did a good job of teaching me all the approaches I needed, but I didn't trust myself to stick to one. And I went to the Cape. I stuck to an approach. I was stubborn to it, and it ended up working out really good for me. And I took pride in my routine, my hitting routine. BP, I only go oppo. I don't pull the ball, so that helped out a lot.
That's awesome. Hey, 2 p.m. today, and that's why we're so grateful for your time today. It's a spring breakout series game between you and the Astros prospects and the Nationals and their prospects. What does this game mean to you, the chance to play with all the young guys that might graduate together with a lot of eyeballs on you?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are the next superstars, so I think it's a great opportunity, honestly, because everybody's going to look back at these games and be like, hey, look at this guy when he was just coming up, and now look at him today. So it's going to be a fun game, honestly. It's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Awesome. Cam, we appreciate the visit today. We're fans of yours, have loved watching you play this spring, and wish you nothing but success moving forward with your career.